you look at the next 3 games, just as it is right now, you got the Chiefs, 6-4, Raiders, 5-4, Saints, 5-4. You will play those 3 teams in the next 15 days. Like, that's where we're at right now, is 2 weeks from tomorrow, once we get to the evening, we'll have the results of all 3 of those games. On the road against the Chiefs, host Vegas, on the road against New Orleans.
And then you get 10 days to recover.
Exactly. And then
replan.
And that's why I wanted
Can we be division champs by the end of the New Orleans game?
Yes, I believe that you can, although I know Jeff was shouting out for Philly potentially getting to 9-8, so maybe that will not be the case, because I did look at the schedule, and he's right, Philly does not have a difficult schedule. But for the Cowboys, once you get through the New Orleans game, the rest of the schedule is NFC East and the Cardinals. So old NFC East is you've got Washington, New York, Washington, Arizona, and Philly. So the rest of the way after this 3-game stretch, it's Arizona and 4 NFC East games. And make no mistake, the NFC East is still not good.
How many people listening right now, Autoflex Leasing or the Twitch/Tuolos, have no clue that the Cardinals used to be in the Cowboys division?
I bet at least 40%.
Wow, that's a big number. Man, I guess wow, this is a very important 2 games in 4 days.
Yeah.
Like these two games are very important in 4 days, because it feels like such a quick grab. Yep. Because it's such a quick turnaround the way that it is, and especially whenever it's a Sunday night versus the Thursday game. I know we had that happen once, but it's a quick turnaround to go up a couple games on some teams and really put pressure on other teams having to do other things. That's what I find interesting. How far ahead do the Cowboys need to get where it starts becoming pressure to other opponents, where they're starting to have to play a different way, not necessarily like a different way just because of that, but for seeding purposes, they start looking at that and going, okay, do we really want to fight this much and grind through this to get that number 1 seed, or do we want to keep the Cowboys from getting this spot? So that's really interesting, because the Cowboys can turn it around so fast.
And you have to think, I would think that you have to go at least 2-1 through this run of 3 games to keep the dream of the number 1 seed alive. Like, quite frankly, I think you could lose all 3 and still win the division just fine. But to get the number 1 seed, you have to walk out of this at least 9-3. And you start going to Kansas City, where you're a 2.5-point underdog. I think
is this by far the toughest game of the 3?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think now I do think so. What do you peg as the toughest game?
Offensively, defensively, trying to keep up with Kansas City's going to be a race that's going to be fun. But I think this offense can compete with their offense, and that's something that I think makes the game a little easier, maybe more fun. I don't like playing against a very physical Saints defense. That's the one. That's the one that I feel is the tougher one. I know their quarterback's not as good, but that Saints defense has been like they can put a hurt on you. So you're going to need the 10 days to recover and rest up for what you're going to have to play against them.
I guess I do say the Chiefs now based off of that last game, because you're looking at the Chiefs and Raiders as both like quality teams. And that's not to say that the Raiders aren't still a quality team, but they got destroyed by a Chiefs team that has been mediocre for most of the season. And plus you're at home for Thanksgiving. I feel like I would probably say that is the least concerning, and then I would go Saints second, and I would say the Chiefs are first, because you'll be favored in the other 2.
I think playing on the road for either one of those teams, Chiefs, Saints, is tough, because like just playing the Saints in their stadium is always difficult, and then playing the Chiefs. Like, when was the last time they went to the Chiefs? Was that the Miles Austin game where he had 10 catches for 250 yards? Or is that the last time a number 19 played in that game?
The last meeting in Kansas City was September 15th, 2013, and the Cowboys lost 17-16.
Okay. So that's been a long time since you've been there. You've been to New Orleans. You know what that's like. Going to Kansas City is going to be very interesting with what that crowd is trying to deliver, and they're trying to make the same thing. They're trying to rebrand, I guess, a little bit of what they've gone through this season. So they're going to be out for the Cowboys. I think the most significant thing, not just because it's the Cowboys, but because the Cowboys are good, is you're going to be getting everybody's best right now. Everybody is looking at you going, this is our chance to put a stamp on the NFL because we took down the Cowboys or we did something against the Cowboys. So this little 3-game stretch is going to be tough, but against the NFC East, they're still trying to save face a little too.
In the next 15 days, the Cowboys play 3 games. What is their record after these 3 games?
3-0.
They're okay. So you got them at 10-2?
I'm 3-0 in these 3 games,
okay.
Kevin.
So yeah, I will take that as
if that's what the math says.
That is what the math says.
Yes.
God, I want to say 3-0 too, and I feel like what in the world is happening to me? But I think as long as Dak doesn't get hurt, I think they're going to be 2-1 or 3-0. And right now, I'm leaning towards they beat the Chiefs.
Hold on,
I think the Raiders are the easiest game, and I do worry about going to New Orleans. It feels like weird things happen to the Cowboys at New Orleans.
Voodoo, baby.
But
oh, no.
Mike, before the season, though, didn't we mark this as possibly the second toughest stretch of the schedule? In that you had the Tampa Bay Chargers area, like you thought early in a 3-game span that you would be 1-2.
Yeah,
and so that's why I'm looking at this was the second most difficult stretch. So, but should we have looked at it and said it was actually the first most difficult stretch? What do you guys think?
See, I don't necessarily. I mean, I guess I could see that now, but also like Kansas City is worse than anticipated. How many people looked at that schedule when it came out and you're like, well, there's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're guaranteed almost to lose that game. And now it is a very I view this more as a coin flip game. Like I see that that's not what the spread is at on this game with the Chiefs by 2.5, but I feel this is a very winnable game.
Just looking back, Corey, I thought to start the year was going to be very difficult, and I thought the last 3 games could be Washington, Arizona, then at Philadelphia. But I saw Kansas City as just a loss. Like that is a 100% loss at Kansas City before the season started. Now I'm going to pick the Cowboys as of today to win this close game, somewhat high-scoring game. I think both teams are going to get to 30 to 36 points, somewhere in there. Raiders, it'll be interesting. I'm starting to give up on the Raiders. Like the Raiders started off nice, but I'm starting to go like, at home, short game. I think the Cowboys can handle the Raiders. At the Saints, always seems to be difficult for the Cowboys. So I'm going to right now, 2 of the games are on the road. I still am going to pick the Cowboys to go 3-0. Right now, I'm picking the Cowboys to go 3-0. Right now, I'll only predict the Cowboys to lose to the Cardinals the rest of the way.
Holy cow.
And barely lose the bet.
Now it's
I would win the bet.
14-3.
Now it's on Kevin to either poo-poo on everything like he typically does or stand united with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, well, since you said that, I guess I will say
this is a stand your ground state.
Oh my God. I will say 2-1.
Wow.
Which still puts you at 9-3. Going into the home stretch of easiness.
You want me to
lose
lose this
Arizona.
Bet? That's all you want.
No. I think I've made it very clear, with all due respect to Mike, I would love to see you win this bet for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is I love the Cowboys, and I want them to go 15-2.
Thanks a lot.